Well, talking about challenges of different viruses in Delhi, it's dengue and coronavirus that's the challenge. And currently, Delhi Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodiya, who was admitted to hospital 2 days ago after having earlier tested positive for COVID, also has dengue. Now, this has drawn attention to this double whammy that's facing us, a season of two viruses. A dengue season set in across large parts of India due to the monsoon, and we're already in the midst of this pandemic that is another big challenge for our health infrastructure. Joining us for more on this, Dr Yatin Mehta, Chairman, Medanta Institute of Critical Care. Thank you so much, Doctor, for joining us. Tell us about this challenge of dengue and COVID, and I believe one of the challenges is that they're overlapping symptoms.
Yes, that is true, Gargi. I think fortunately dengue has not hit us as hard as it happened last year. So we are getting cases of dengue, but not as many. And we also had a few cases of dengue with COVID. And then obviously this is like a double whammy. It has hit the different viruses, but I mean they both affect the multi-system in the body. And the morbidity and mortality will go up if patients get both of them, particularly patients with other comorbidities. Although there is some indication that if you have dengue, then it does give you some protection against COVID. But with Mr. Sisodiya getting admitted, I think that is disproven quite convincingly that it really doesn't happen.
Right, and they both are devastating viruses, and dengue especially, because earlier that used to be the big, the problem that we used to face every year with many dengue cases, and now to have coronavirus on top of it, and for somebody to suffer from both, that too is very devastating for the body.
Absolutely. Well, both the diseases affect every possible organ in the body. So every system can get affected by any of them, except that the COVID-19 does not have so much of risk of bleeding, which used to happen with dengue. But every organ is affected. Kidneys can fail, and heart can fail, and blood pressure drops, and everything. All the systems get affected by both diseases.
All the more reason to be even more careful. Thank you, Dr. Mehta, for joining us on that. And do stay on with us. Time for us to slip into a short break. On the other side, Dr. Mehta will take our viewer questions. Welcome back to the show, and it's time now for our viewer questions. We have Dr. Yatin Mehta with us to take those questions. And today, Doctor, we're going to take some of the tweet questions that many of the viewers send us. Siddharth Singh tweeting, people are wearing masks that cover the nose and mouth, but most don't cover their eyes. Does wearing clear glasses help? Should people be encouraged to wear plain glasses just like masks?
That's a good question, Gargi. But see, now the virus can be secreted in any secretions of the body, including the teardrops. So, but there is no case in the world which is reported where it is transmitted from eyes to eyes. So, for healthcare workers, we do recommend who are taking care of COVID patients, or even otherwise seeing patients with outpatients and things, to wear either glasses or wear a face shield to protect the eyes from the droplets, which can be from the patient, transmitted from the patient. For regular people who do not have glasses, I think there is really no need unless you're going to in close proximity with people who can possibly be carrying the disease. So I really, at the moment, there is no need to wear plain glasses if you're going out.
All right. Well, we have another question from S. Rajnik. Is CT scan of chest necessary in all recovered cases?
No, not really. See, some percentage of the recovered cases, the disease may have gone, but it leaves residual damage in the lungs, which is called fibrosis. It heals by some of the lungs heal by fibrosis, which can have long-term effects on the patients. So if you are symptomatic, that means you are requiring oxygen or you're short of breath after you're recovered from COVID-19, then yes, CT scan would be indicated. In all patients, otherwise it is not indicated. Not at all.
All right. And another viewer, Gagan Singh, tweeted, how is India's recovery rate so much better than Western countries or the US, despite the level of poverty and malnutrition we have compared to these countries?
Well, jokingly, I was telling some Italian colleagues on a webinar that is because we've got fantastic intensivists in this country. But that is not true. yes, there is a mortality rate is significantly from the beginning has been much lower than the rest of the world. And at the moment, I think it is 1.7 or 1.8% compared to about 3.5–4% of the rest of the world. So I think one factor which is important in India is we have a much younger population.
Right.
So the older people are more prone to die from the disease. So that is one thing. Also in the Western population, if you know that the older people, they're put in their old people's homes or nursing homes as they call them, where they're all put together. So if one person gets it, it's in close proximity with the others, all with higher comorbidities like blood pressure, diabetes, and so on, old age. So then it spreads pretty widely. So that is one of the other contributing reasons why their mortality is higher. And third factor may be genetic. Maybe we are protected, and that all needs to be investigated. But maybe there are some genetic factors which we don't at the moment comprehend. So there may be some protection. Yes.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Mehta. And yes, I think the younger population in India, having a much younger population is something that everybody points to when asked about this mortality rate. Thank you so much for joining us and answering all those questions for us.